Hi everyone, it's Marcy Denning here from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Strathroy, Ontario, Canada. And I want to thank you for pressing play on today's video. Today I'm going to be creating a fun card that embraces our summer. Here in Canada, we are now officially into summer. So I have pulled out my sweet ice cream stamp set for the Popsicle image, as well as my sweet strawberry stamp set for the Happy Birthday You Sweet Thing. My colors that I'm going to be using are Polished Pink, Pale Papaya, Crumb Cake, and Bermuda Bay, as well as I'm going to be doing some embossing. So I'm using my Versamark with clear embossing powder. And then I'm using the following dies, the Scalloped Contours dies. I'm using this big scalloped rectangle, as well as the Give It a Whirl dies for these fabulous clouds. Now my color palette came from these little treats that I picked up at the dollar store. I saw that and I thought, oh my goodness, that is Polished Pink and Pale Papaya for sure. So I'm also pulling in some of the 2021 to 2023 in color gems. Excuse me. And this is the fun card I'm creating with you. So as you can see, this is embossed. And here on the inside is just plain stamped. So you can see quite a difference in the color, what you get when you do emboss that. So it's super easy to do. And I'm going to show you that in just one moment. So let's get started. We're going to keep this in view for you to see. Now I have already gone ahead. I used my blending brushes and Bermuda Bay to color my background. And I started with the Bermuda Bay quite dark at the top, fading out to just a hint there, and it's white at the bottom. So we're just going to leave that to the side. And here is our large scalloped rectangle. So we need to bring in our pierce mat, and I've got, is this going to work with the two? This might not be big enough for two of them. No, I've already got one already stamped and cut out to save time. So we're going to start with our Pale Papaya, everything to the side here. And we are going to stamp, ink up the base with the Pale Papaya right there, giving it a good press for that ink to have a chance to transfer. There we go. Close this up for the moment. Bring in our Polished Pink, and I'm going over top of that with the Polished Pink, and I'm lining up this bottom corner down here as best I can with the camera in front of me. Let's hope that I did a decent job with that. Not too bad. So let's close that up. And let's get our popsicle stick here. So this is Crumb Cake. And we are just going to stamp that stick right in the middle there. Okay. So now, while we give this a moment to dry, let's grab our insert piece and let's stamp again. We're going to stamp the popsicle. So we need our base first, making sure we stamp it high enough that that popsicle stick can fit at the bottom. Close that up. We are now done with that. Get that little fluffy off of there. Okay, now we're going to bring in our polished pink. I love this pink. It is such a fabulous color. So now we are going to line that up just like the front. Stamp down. There we go with that one. Close that up. We are now done with that color. And now let's ink up our popsicle stick. And there we have it. So fun. This is perfect for somebody who might be celebrating their birthday in the summer. I have some friends that have a birthday in July. So this is the perfect card for them. Okay, so let's just move this to the side for the moment. And we're going to fold and burnish our cardstock base. So all of the measurements can be found over on my blog, as well as the product links. And if you live in Canada and do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you currently work with, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. The holiday catalog, us demonstrators can now pre-order from it. It goes live on August the 3rd for customers. So if you would like to get on my mailing list, please reach out and ask for a catalog. I would be happy to send one out to you if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you're currently shopping with. If you're shopping with somebody already, I ask that you reach out to them to get your catalog. And let me tell you, that holiday catalog, oh my goodness, has some fabulous products in it. Okay, so we're now going to set this aside, and we're going to bring in, you can see I've already got some Versamark on there. So to cover my entire image with Versamark, I am just going to take it and I am just going to give it a good press. I want to really load that up so that I get a nice even coverage. Okay, so we are nice and covered. So we are going to set that aside. Bring in our clear embossing powder. And yes, I'm going to be wasting some, but I'm okay with that. It's worth it for the look that I'm going to be getting. So I'm just, I find if you tap it, it helps settle the granules into any little nooks and crannies that you might have. Okay, give it a nice tap off. I think we are very well covered. And put that to the side, throw that lid on. And we're going to take our heat tool. Now it's going to be a little loud for a moment, so just bear with me. And I find that you get a quicker, better heating melting point if you preheat your heat tool. So just turn it on so that it warms up first before you take it to the project. So it doesn't take that long to heat that up, just a few seconds for that heat to build up, and then we're going to take it to our popsicle. Okay, so we're just going to wait for that fabulous magic to happen. And I find that by adding that clear embossing powder, it's giving that popsicle, it's intensifying the color and giving it a really shiny, icy look that I would imagine that a popsicle in the summer would look like. So I think I see shiny all over that popsicle. I'm just making sure all of my areas have been melted. There we go. I think that is good. So if you look at that, now the embossing powder that's down here at the bottom is not melted, but that's okay. I don't need that. So I am just going to, it's still warm, so I'm just going to take and trim off the excess for the moment, and then I'm going to set it aside so that it completely cools. I just want to make it a little bit more manageable. So there's my piece. And then this is going to go directly into the garbage. Okay, so to build our background, oh, I need to bring this in first. We want to put our happy birthday, you sweet thing, down at the bottom. So, and this, like I said, is from the Sweet Strawberry stamp set. And we are stamping it with Bermuda Bay. Now my original is much lighter. Every time you do this, it's going to be, you're going to get a different tone depending on how much or how heavy or how light you go. So let's make sure that we are looking straight. All that work, we don't want it to go to waste by making a boo-boo and stamping super crooked. There we go. Lovely. All right. So now we are going to build. So I've got my clouds here. So I'm going to put this aside, bring this in, and I'm going to have these like this, and then this one down here, and I'm going to cut that off. So let's take our liquid adhesive, my adhesive of choice, as it gives me a few more moments to make sure that I am nice and straight. Okay, so there's that cloud. And so we don't need adhesive here, so we're just going to, from that area there, let's lay this down because that's going to sit over top of that. And then about there. Give that a little press. Then flip that over. Take my scissors and just nip off that extra. Okay, before I go and do anything else, because this has got, I've got dimensionals on this one and I've got dimensionals on this popsicle. So I want to adhere this to my scalloped rectangle here. And I think that by doing some ink blending there with the blending brushes on that piece of basic white really makes that pop off that frame. It just looks so gorgeous, I think. Okay, so while we're gluing, let's take this, make sure that I have cut this down properly. Yes. So I believe this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. But like I said, you're going to find all of my measurements over on my blog, and the link is in the description box below. Okay, so now let's grab some of my cut up dimensionals. We don't want to waste anything, so we cut up those edge pieces. And is that gonna, let's cut this down just a smidge so that we've got a nice little one that goes right here, and then this one can go there. All right. So really this card is not complicated at all, but it is a fun, bright summertime card. At least I think so. All right, so I want my clouds overlapping, and before I press down, I'm just lifting this up so I can get a better look at my positioning, and I'm good. So I can gently press that down. Okay, so I know watching somebody fussy cut is kind of like watching paint dry, but I'm just gonna trim it down just a smidge more so that it is, excuse me, a little bit more manageable. But I just love the intensity of that color when you open it up. Look at those two side by side. It's just incredible how much more intense it is when you add that clear embossing powder to it. All right, so I'm just leaving a small little halo around it of the white, and I'm turning my cardstock. Oop, I've come out a little too far there. And my scissors are supposed to stay right on the cardstock, and you're turning the cardstock. You are not taking your scissors off. That gives you a much nicer cut line. And then you can always go in afterwards and just clean it up a little bit if you find you need to here and there. Okay, so there we have it. I think that's pretty good. And I do have another one right here that I've already pre-done because you don't want to watch me do two of them. Now you can see that it's curled slightly. So just take your bone folder on the back and just gently work it so that it flattens that out. So we want to position this so that I'm very visual, so I like to plan it out ahead of time. So I want that over here. So before I like that position, so I know that my corner is going to be down by the H. So we're going to apply some liquid glue, and right, that's good. So now let's apply some dimensionals to the back of my popsicle. And yep, they're good. So, and let's put one here. I just want to make sure that my popsicle is not going to sag. Nobody likes anything saggy. So, whoops, sticking to my finger. Pulling my backs off. All right, so now we are going to kind of angle this as well. And just a smidge more, like that. Oh, I like that. So cute. All right, so now this is popped up on top of, so I'm gonna have to get a new sheet of dimensionals because this is totally going to use up these. So let's start putting them on. So if you are new to my channel, don't be alarmed. I like my dimensionals. I really like my dimensionals. So I use a lot of them. Nobody can claim that my cards are saggy because, oh my goodness, I make sure that I have enough on here that they are not, there's no part of my card that's going to be droopy. Okay. And then I have a sweet container to show you when I am done that I have to go with this fun birthday card that uses those popsicle shaped gummy sugary treats. Okay, make sure that I'm the right orientation. That would be terrible for me to stick it down the wrong way. Okay, so I'm just looking at the top to make sure that my corners, if my corner is good, then I'm pretty sure that the rest of my card front should be good. So we just need to bring you over just a hair there. Okay, look at that. All right, now I like to add liquid glue to where my embellishments are going to go because I want to be sure that they are not going anywhere when they arrive, when my card arrives at the recipient's house. I don't want those embellishments to be stuck to the inside of the envelope or where they're not supposed to. So I'm just using the pale papaya to tie that all in. And there we go. Okay, and there is our fun summertime birthday card. So gorgeous, I think. Okay, so here's the inside. Lots of room to write your sentiment. So this is the fun little jar that I created to go with it. So I ink blended on the top as well, on the basic white with the Bermuda Bay, and I used the stitched heart from the Give It a Whirl dies. I love these dies for the hearts, clouds, stars. So, and then I have attached 3 little hearts with glue dots to some of the white baker's twine from the Essentials Baker's Twine pack to add that So there you have a super fun gift for a summertime birthday. Now remember, the peach jars, or sorry, the mini jam jars are food safe. So you can totally put whatever kind of yummy goodies you want in there. So that is it for me for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button below, as well as the notification bell, so you don't miss any future videos from me. Okay, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.